Hi, I'm TrueAgent from CSGOCoach.com and I gotta be reviewing your demo. So I went through already your demo. I've seen how people playing in this team, how you play and your basic mistakes. So first of all, I don't want you to get discouraged by a lot of things you will hear me say, because I'm not in here to flatter you with comments. I'm here to pick things which you're doing wrong and things which you have to work on. So it might be not pleasant for some people, so just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to offend you or just irritate you anyhow. I'm just trying to help you progress. So I've seen some things which you don't have to work on for now at this level, because I'm guessing that it's gold-ish, maybe AK-ish level. If I'm correct, from that what I gather, the madness what is happening in here with positioning, etc, etc. So I guess we are somewhere here. And I've seen that you got a decent cross replacement like for your rank, and good decent reflex, which we can tell after this take it all around. So we're not gonna talk about pre-aiming and stuff like that, about the cross repositioning. For now, let's say it is in place like for your rank, but we will talk more about some things which you lack, which is positioning, finding yourself in a team, and there are as well things like checking corners, which you don't really do. Like in this case, you decided to go long. And what I mean positioning is, even in this case, like, okay, you going long, you need to assess where you're spawning, how far you are from the best spawn to the long. Long is really tricky place because you get in almost in the same time with terrorists to the very corner in there. So you need to have really good spawn if you want to run in there straight with a knife and peek right away, hoping for, you know, being first. So you don't have really good spawn to do that. That's first thing I want to point out. The other thing is that you wasted around 3 seconds on a spawn, which for casual players might look not really important, but it is actually important, because now, as you can see on a minimap, they are just about to get to the place and peak, and you got totally blinded. So for that, I recommend you to run very first half of the way of long backwards, which a lot of people do. There is no danger, there's no one capable of getting in here and kill you while you're doing it, and sort of at this moment you can start turning around. Now you went for a nade, which is awful decision, just because you're so late in here that there is one, and if not, there might be one person pushing one already being pre-aimed at this corner. There is so low chance you will survive it that it's not even worth doing. What are you supposed to do in this situation when you can see there is no flashes coming and you're so late? You should flash them, pop flash them. If you don't know any flashes, you should definitely learn at least 2 flashes for this position. One to engage and flash them to peek, and the other one as a defensive one, so you can escape and reposition to different place. And definitely some sort of smoke, so you can smoke off area you hold, so it can be long, short, or whatever. So those are very basics what you need to have. That's 100% you need to know. Pop flash at least one, okay? On the beginning, try to get at least one so you can peek safely. Every single time you want to peek to the place where enemy can be, you need to flash. So we decided to do that. There was a guy pre-aimed, he headshotted you. End of story. That was a bad decision, although you can see probably my point from this round. So, and there is as well something like you cannot find, like in this round you cannot find yourself really what to do. So as a third person on bomb site A, which is quite common to have 3 people, you need to do one of 2 things. You need to support short, like catwalk player, and you need to support player which is on long. And by doing that, what you're doing right now, okay, you're gonna pop flash in there, which is okay, decent. But now you went back to side for no reason, helping no one. So if you will eventually get if you get killed in here, you're unable to refrag, which is a really important aspect of the game. Counter-Strike is all about refragging. It's all about getting those trade kills because it is just the game is built that way. So if you need to stay always close enough, and you don't even have to be picked in the same position with your teammate, but you need to stay close enough that when he will get engaged, you can immediately jump in and start shooting at the guy which is fighting with him. So even if your teammate will die, you will trade and kill enemy for it. And it is the way of kind of playing this game. So you need to keep in mind always to be able and close to refrag. In this moment, you getting kind of in this position, so he's getting shot from this direction. The guy already had 2 shots with Deagle, and after that, Deagle is getting insanely inaccurate, so it's a great moment to pick for you. I agree. This guy was just about to get you, because that's the worst position on short. I'm not saying that you position yourself the worst way, but it is the worst position because you can get picked from 4 different angles in here, like lower tunnel, close to the door, end of the mid in there, or even dark, depends. Like there is a lot of different angles people can shoot at you, so it is really bad to fight from this position. You came out on top. This guy crouched and probably couldn't manage to get you. You got them both. Well done. Although it could be played better a little bit on the very beginning. So you need to support your teammates and always think about that refragging. Like in this moment, again, assessing the situation. You're running with a knife. You need to remember that they pushed already tunnels. Upper tunnel is pushed with your teammates. You've seen lower tunnel. You pushed through the middle. So if you're running in here and you got called that they are in this position, you should have your weapon already out. You shouldn't jump down before assessing is anyone in here, before checking the area. Although you just ran with a knife and you spotted him way too late. So as you can see, look at the guy, your teammate. He is doing really good job by supporting you. So if you will get killed, he can refrag without any risk of getting killed, because this guy will have to do 90 degrees and his weapon will have to still recover from the recoil, which is really huge in Counter-Strike after a certain amount of bullets. So nicely, securely killed. Although, you know, there's something that you play still really casually, but you got something already in there going on. I can see that you want to progress, but yeah, there are some things which you definitely need to work on. So what we got in here? Are we going for an op? Second, let me pause it and see. Fix itself. So, you're getting kind of pop flash, which could work, but having pop flash in front of you, it will delay you. I know that this sort of flashing might work maybe on higher ranks when your skills are kind of better. Oh, from what I see, you got called in here. That someone is pushing short with a bomb, which was a good call to reposition and hold from the side. But after that shot, I would reposition. I would go back to ramp, at least try to, because this side area is often getting on fire. Because it is super easy just to do that, so a lot of people is throwing those mollies in there and nades. So yeah, I would recommend you to learn some flashes which will pop above you, so we can peek with them almost in the same time. Or some flashes which will like just pop flash behind you, so we can peek as well with them and you're not gonna get flashed. I absolutely do not understand that smoke. It's kind of waste. I think you are just a bit improvising in there. And if you're playing up, you're not supposed to push so much forward like you just did. You stay close to the cover, you take a shot. If you miss, you can flash, reposition back to the car, let's say, and pre-aim the corner in there. If you missed, you can hide, or if you got another flash or possibility to do so, you can reposition to CT and constantly try to work passively with op, because that's the best way to learn how to play op. So you're picking this, let's say, oh, you're not supposed to push in here either. You see, you've been exposed, way too exposed. He took really wide angle, and you had no chance to reposition. Even if he will miss, you would have to stick to the wall. Your op will not reload in time, and you will be just simply dead. If you would wait for him on the, let me unlock this camera. There you go. So what I expect you to do with op is, like, okay, we're gonna pop flash above in here, and I will peek, I will shoot with it. If I will miss, I will see two people pushing, I will back off to CT. I will hold this angle, I will shoot. If I will get a guy, I will reposition, and I can even reposition to CT deeper in here. So every single time I'm not re-peeking the same position, because that's really obvious and people will wait for that. And I'm playing securely and safe. So I get decent distance and decent cover every single time, and that element of surprise. So that's sort of where you should play with op. If you are like Kenny S and, you know, some of those crazy players, you can pick with op and go aggressive in here, but that's not something I would recommend on the very beginning at least. And yeah, let's see what we're doing in here. So you keep trying to play with op. You got some intel that they pushing B. Killing people through this gap, it is really difficult even for players in higher ranks, so I would recommend securing mid. But still, you had no nades, no utilities, so it would be difficult. From this point on, I would not even try to engage, especially that your teammate was playing that really badly. You got M4, he's the one who, if you're deciding to engage, he should be the one to engage first, not the upper definitely. And he had more HP as well from that, what I remember. So yeah, mostly what I expect from you to work on is positioning, is peeking at the proper moments, and definitely working at checking corners, which we're gonna go to in a second. Let's see that this round. Again, exposing yourself a bit too much, although you first, so you could stand in there. But from that, what I see on the CT side, you're doing constantly the same sort of stuff. In here you nicely supported your teammate, trying to reposition probably according to the calls from your team, or not really hitting it. This is really obvious. The thing what you were doing on higher ranks, if you hear someone running on the metal, which we can hear in here as well, in dark. So they will know that you're gonna be behind the car, or you can be on the top of the crates in there. So I'm not recommending you get in this position that way. There are other ways to jump on the top of it. But yeah, so in here as well, you picking up the weapon, you're not even giving yourself time to check is it full mag or not, and you pushing like kind of crazy loud without any flashes, nothing. Do you have any flashes? You got Molly. You don't have flashes, but still, you just pushing like that on a person which is pre-aimed, so it is kind of bad decision. Like, you guys got a bump, you have no need of pushing. I know that you're playing casually probably still, and you're not thinking, you just like, okay, it's 3 of us and he's just 1, so let's push. But you need to keep in mind that situations like this might destroy whole game. Just for example, yeah, that is a little example. You got no Kevlar. Kevlar is super important in game, and you should buy it every single time, because every single time you get shot, you're not getting that kickback on your weapon, that sort of pushback. And that is even more important than reduction of the damage which Kevlar is giving. So that's the first thing. So like, you will get shot while in the middle of your spray will go crazy to different places, and you're not gonna manage to win the fight. And look at your teammates. You got one teammate 5 HP, the other on 22. So if that guy will just kill you, as he will, and then just throw nade inside, let's say, that is 1-on-1, and this round is really close to be lost. And he got still utilities to do so. So yeah. You see, like, as soon as you start getting shot, your bullets went above him, just because you didn't have any Kevlar. Although luckily the guy behind you was smart enough to refrag, and all end up positives, or we can say, for your team. But still, it is something what you need to keep in mind. Like, pushing like this, it is not the best option. And always you need to look at this, what will happen if you will die. Okay, you can push, you can risk, but you need to look at that, what will happen, because you might throw the whole round just by pushing. Let me see what we got in here. I guess that was some smoke for short, which it looked like you learned about, so yeah, that's something I'm happy about. Decent flash as well in here. Would get most of the pre-aimed people, so nothing to brag about. Although I would like to see some more flashes or something before entering the site. I would definitely just jump to, because I've seen you guys been doing really good on the CT sites. I will skip quite a lot because you're constantly doing the same mistakes over and over in here. So we're gonna jump to E site, and I will explain you what I mean by checking corners. And from you can learn at least how to properly check corners of each map by the just downloading some sort of maps from Workshop, and those maps were called, I think, pre-aim practice. I think pre-aim practice. That's to try to type in, and you will get a map which will help you pre-aim certain positions. But this is not our goal of using it, because in the most common positions there will be bots placed. So this will give you actually advantage of knowing when you should stop and when you should clear the corner. So I will explain you. So let's say you enter in this area, most people will go and try to peek that way, so they are like looking towards here. But what you really should do, you need to check this, then you need to clear this angle. This cam is so fast. You need to clear this angle before you will peek that angle, and then you're not peeking further in here, but you can check in here before checking deeper. Then you can check deep dot. Then from this point you're not going right away here, but you need to check this position. In a new version, if you will stand in this corner, you can see heads, and you can pop people which are trying to peek long. So there is a lot of spots which you need to clear, and most people do clear on higher ranks by just like picking every single corner one by one, then car, then checking here, checking top, pushing towards CT, going close to the wall. You need to work on that, and this map is perfect, the pre-fire practice map. it will be perfect for you, so you know when you're gonna engage, when someone can surprise you with shooting, and that will improve your CT side. Oh, sorry, T side. Let me see what else we can pick up from here. Of course, I'm not saying anything about your aim. Your aim seems decent for those ranks, sort of that sort of level. You can say you don't have to work too much on it. I would recommend doing like 20 minutes warm-ups before you will start play every day. This flash is kind of selfish, sorry, because you willingly flashing your teammates just for your own push. So you need to work on that as well. I definitely recommend you just look for some flashes and memorize them. You need to work on your spray control a little bit as well, because I can see that with AK you're not feeling it too much, and you need to pull it down slightly higher. So, you know, there is something we need to keep in mind, like you trying to perform in Counter-Strike and competitive games, but a lot of people is taking it badly and they play competitive games for fun and try to learn while doing it. So try to look at professional boxing and tell me professional boxers trying to learn to fight in the middle of, you know, professional fights. So it is like, even if you're not gonna consider matchmaking as a professional, you can consider that as an amateur fights, like amateur league. Like, you're not gonna try to progress while already trying to get a title or something. The same as you're trying to get a rank. So you need to keep that in mind. You need to practice on the side, and that will cost you some time. And I know that, you know, practicing on the side is not a pleasant thing to do, because everyone want to play with friends and stuff, but that's something what you need to do. You need to sacrifice at least 20 minutes for warm-up, just some aimbots or maybe reflex map to train your aim, your reflex, and strafe shooting. Strafe shooting is really important in Counter-Strike, so you can do like peek and shoot every single time you stop yourself. So that's something you need to practice, and then learn some nades. So I would close it for now, because I don't wanna throw too much information at you at once. I would love to see you coming back after improving that what I pointed out, and then we can work on something more and further. I believe that this will definitely help you out, and that is another topic which I can quickly mention. When you buy a weapon, you need to as well think where you're going. Like you bought shotgun, and shotgun is absolutely useless weapon for a long pushes as a terrorist site. You got a shotgun right now, and what you can do in here? Like, if someone will be in pit deep in there, you can't do anything. You cannot push with it, because long, every single target on long will be too far. So even if you will see someone on a vehicle, on that car in there, you're not gonna do any damage to it. So, you know, you see, so like if you would take that shotgun, okay, and your teammates saying like, okay, we going long, probably that's what it was. Instead of going long, you can try to sprint through suicide and go catwalk. From catwalk, that is a huge distance as well, and you can support them on A side by just flashing A side and jumping down to CT quickly while they are flashed, so you can stop that support from middle, or just keep holding short if you know that they're rotating. You need to stay at a close range, since you got a close range weapon. The same as you pick in SMGs, don't try to go long. Again, you're not gonna do too much damage, so that's something you need to work on as well. Like, don't like pick your weapons accordingly to the situation. Or if it's too late, like you bought a weapon and your team is calling something, try to adjust it in the best situation ever. Like the best way ever. So that would be actually all I got for you now. I would strongly recommend you Like, you see, oh, this is good moment. You see, you knew that this guy is in there, and you could nicely pre-aim and headshot him, of course after like third time, but by working on those positioning on that map I recommended to you, you will be able to pre-aim every single position that way, because you will be expecting in every single position enemy. So your crosshair will be already in the right place, so you can just like strafe shoot like you did on the middling. So that would be actually it, what I got for you now. I hope you're gonna come back to us with improvement, and yeah, I wish you good luck with your practice, and see you probably on next review. Bye.